Before you begin your road trip, ask yourself, do you really need 5 full suitcases? With the 2026 Kia Sportage X-Pro's class-leading cargo space, you'll have room for what you need. Find out more at your local Kia dealer today. Keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely and obey all traffic laws. Comparisons based on second row legroom and cargo space behind second row seats in the subcompact SUV class according to Kia segmentation as of October 2025.
iDoby Radio. The future of alternative.
Testing everything with a throttle. This is Tess Miles.
I'm going to help you out. I am actually fast and fabulously furious today, along with Trish. She's here, and she is our button barista. And Marconi, as always, and he probably invented the term. He's our passenger princess. Welcome back, gang.
I don't think I invented the term, but I'll accept that award.
Well, you definitely should be crowned the passenger princess.
I have a couple of crowns,
but
they're in my mouth.
Okay. All right. But, and the tiaras you wear around your brand new studio, I'm sure. You finished it this week. It's done. You sound
really.
like finished.
It's close. I've got lighting to complete. And I installed an art installation that's creeping Trish out.
It totally it is the shade, man. It's the just the way it hits the wall, the way it looks, the shadow. It's just creeping me out. But you got to tell.
Why don't you explain to us, Marconi, what it is, and then Trish can tell us, how you can help her not be creeped out by your studio.
Well, I wanted something in the studio that was like a focal piece that could be a reveal piece, because I've got a curtain that covers up this section of the booth.
Yeah.
And so on the very end is a mask. It's a mold of David Bowie's face. Someone got a mold, probably of a mold, and they make these plaster of Paris molds, and the artist painted a Ziggy Stardust lightning bolt on the face. So it looks like David Bowie at rest, and it's hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
And it has eyelashes and everything, so it looks literally looks like Ziggy Stardust is taking a nap against my wall, and I've got lighting over it that casts a shadow over David Bowie's face, because he's got a very structured cheekbones and stuff. It's good to highlight that. But it looks, like there's somebody there asleep. It doesn't look like a mask. It looks like really like a real person. And the shadow casts like it looks like sort of like a ghost orb, like it has a black aura around it. And I think that scared Trish in the picture.
Well, to be honest with you, it's the eyes that are the most scary, right? Because it looks like someone's passed away on your wall.
And
it looks like at any moment he could wake up and stare at me with his multicolored eyes. Beautiful multicolored eyes.
Marconi,
Trish, is there something that Marconi can do to make you feel better about this?
Well, there's two things. One, Marconi, where is this curtain? Do you have the curtain over the mask and then you unveil the mask, or is it just on the side of it?
No, because what I needed when I built this studio was, because it's a walk-in closet. So I converted it had wire shelving. I took all that down. And so now it's a boutique booth that has, it's basically more a booth for voiceover and doing what we're doing here, but it happens to have parts of my wardrobe. So I had to make the wardrobe side functional. So David Bowie is on that side, and he's judging my fashion, and he's also overseeing my aunt's homemade quilts.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
I was going to say,
but there's a curtain that separates the two sides. Is what you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if he is hiding that face, and when somebody comes over and just pulls the curtain open really fast, that's going to scare them. But to answer your question,
because the curtain from the door is 9 feet away. Okay. So so I can turn on this light, and then I can pull the curtain back, and then that's the reveal. So you don't always see it. It's kind of.
It's so funny to see how you've grown up, because when we worked together and did the morning show and the afternoon show, you were never
Nick's
really
helped me move.
But you were never really into house decor. I mean, you liked a pleasant, nice house.
That's not true.
You liked a pleasant, nice house, but you've been so.
I've always worked in corporate radio where they fire you every 3 years, and you don't ever have any time. I've lived in the same apartment for 10 years. almost going on 11.
Yeah, that's
because I've worked mostly for myself and remote.
That's longer than you lived anywhere in your childhood, probably.
It is.
Yeah.
I moved every single year of my childhood.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in radio, the average would be 2 to 3 years. And in Portland, I was at both radio stations there for 6 years each. And then I moved to Denver for a little bit, like 3.5 years. And then I moved back to Portland for like a year and then to Chicago. And that's where I've been ever since.
Trish, how long have you lived in a house?
Several years. But immediately
yeah.
I wanted to make it mine immediately. Like,
Yeah, but how long have you lived in one place? Like 5 years, 10 years? What's the longest you lived in one place?
probably like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marconi, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you were.
This is the first time in my life standing still, because I had offers to do work in different places, and I just like, you know what? I don't think so. I don't really want to move again. It's for what? To work at your station, and then 6 months later, you decide that you got a budget cut, and then you're going to pipe in regional radio shows instead of me, and then I'm fired in your town where I know no one. No thanks.
Yeah, I was going
Right.
to say, to what Marconi was saying, absolutely. I totally get why you wouldn't want to, decorate because you just don't know, in that case, it's really challenging. So I'm so happy.
But Nick has helped me move, and he's seen the sparsity of most of my decor. But it's always been in my mind. I wanted to do it, but I just some of those jobs didn't pay a lot of money, and I was paying way too much in rent probably at the time. And then and now I've got a good balance of life, work, all that kind of stuff, and I work from home. And it's the best thing ever. I've created my own dream job.
Perfect. And everywhere you went, you took that chest of drawers with you. I remember that. Every time we moved you had the same chest of drawers.
There's one that my dad had when he was a kid. And I still want to restore it. I don't have much of a place for it because, there's limited space. I have 2 storage units now in the basement of this building, and it's in one of those. So, and I'm reorganizing all the storage. You just... In like cities like Chicago, when you live in an older building, you've got to like decide what stays in your apartment and what goes in storage. And one of your storage units might be like you store like stuff like a vacuum and your tools and cleaning supplies. So you don't have to keep it in the apartment, so it's not gumming up the works.
Yeah, it's not conducive to a good home life. That's all I can say.
No. It's garbage. It really is. I'm so glad to be independent. I mean, I work for radio. I'm doing radio here with you.
Yeah.
But I do it on my own terms now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is close to radio. It's not real radio. We goof off.
Oh, this isn't real radio?
Yeah, no.
I forgot. Okay, yeah.
Trish, how long have you worked in radio?
20.
Her whole
Oh my
life.
gosh, I was gonna say for a very long time, like 29 years.
We worked at the other place. Like, I've worked at 2 different radio stations with Trish.
Yeah.
And she's always a delight. And I'm so glad that we get to convene here on this show together.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's my favorite couple of hours of the weekend, and I'm not even kidding. Not
And
kidding.
Nick, how much
I love
did you
it.
Venmo her for that?
Yeah,
Wait.
I Venmoed her to be here on the show every week, but that's just a whole different thing. She gets paid a radio
Nick-
salary, of course. She needs it.
Wait.
Nick, wait.
No, wait, I didn't get Venmoed.
Too late. She took 100% of the budget.
How dare you?
Yeah, she's got to do something for her singing. Like her. She's trying to get a music career going.
I
here,
love Trish is just one of those people that you want to be around because she's got such great energy.
Yeah.
And
She's always positive, and she laughs at our jokes. That's the best thing about her.
Yeah, I know.
100%.
You know,
Funny to me. But wait, Nick, I have to answer your question. Oh gosh. Remember you had asked me what can Marconi do to help me not be so afraid of that
Oh yeah.
thing
Yeah,
that he's
sorry.
got hanging on his wall.
shadow.
He's got to turn on every light. There cannot be. It's the shadow that's on the wall that
But
is
the
so
lights
creepy.
were on when I showed you that.
I know, but there was a
Because
shadow.
The lights in here are dim. Like fluorescent lights I think are homophobic. I don't like them. They're bad.
Well, just every light on
you
in
don't-
the room.
In my house, you do not turn on the ceiling light. That's a no-no.
That's a no.
I've got 100 lamps. That's what they're for.
Interesting.
Put a
dim
lamp
lighting.
on the floor.
Well, you know, like when you get in the elevator, worst lighting ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate that.
absolutely.
And worst music
You know?
ever too. Like
They still have music in elevators? I don't
Yeah.
think they do.
I will tell you that jazz that they play in Atlanta airport elevators, no, it's not for me. All right, we're going to do some Ask Test Miles coming up. The show continues. We're going to get into Ask Test Miles, but I just want to tell you this quick story. So I was in Spain last week driving the new Aston Martin Valhalla, but on the way back... Bragger. On the way back, I stopped. I flew from Paris to New York, and when you arrive in the US, you have to get your luggage at a carousel and then recheck it because it has to go through customs.
I'm just glad you don't say things like, when I return to the States.
And so I'm standing waiting for my luggage to come out onto the belt, and I feel somebody or something push me from the back. And, you know, like it's New York, so I'm a bit wary of what's going on. So I carefully just turned my head to see whether somebody just bumped me or what it was. And on its hind legs is a beagle with its paws against my backpack. And it's sniffing my backpack.
Wait, do it more
And I'm
dramatically this time, Nick. Go. And behind me was
Dun, dun.
a beagle.
So this beagle was a customs beagle. So it was there to find illegal things that were in someone's luggage.
I knew it.
And-
You were riding dirty.
Yeah, so most of the time, the beagles are trained to sniff out fruit and vegetables and that type of stuff. So the beagle is, you know, it leaves me and it's wandering around, and it stops with a Hasidic Jew, young guy, probably in his 20s, about 5 or 6 people down. And it stops and it sits down next to this guy's luggage, and that's the queue, right? And so the customs
Is that
lady
unspoken
said,
language? How did you find this out?
Yeah.
That's the cue.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I know from working with dogs for years, but the dog sits down next to the bag, and the woman explains that the dog has given her the cue that there's something illegal in the bag, and the guy needs to open it. And he argues for about the first 2 or 3 minutes, and eventually he opens the bag, and inside the
And the
bag
reveal was
I know, right?
giant frozen ham.
what?
Are you
kidding? A frozen ham?
So of course she confiscates it. She gives the guy, I don't know if it was a receipt or a
carrying a
ticket or
frozen
something.
ham?
She
but
didn't even
she's
ask him if
walking
he
it-
wanted to carve it up right there and pass out some ham to everyone.
So she and I don't know if it was ham because the guy was Jewish, so I'm guessing it's some kind of preserved meat, but it looked like a ham, right? And then
Kosher.
Anyway, long story short, so then then she walks to the trash can to throw it away from everybody else, and I happened to be leaving at the same time, so I was the same place. And she turns around to see if anybody's looking, and nobody's looking, and she gives the dog a quick sniff and lets it lick the frozen ham, then she throws it away. I thought that was hilarious. But I'd have liked to have
So
licked the frozen
that was the
ham, but
dog's
I wasn't
reward
allowed.
for a good job.
Yeah.
The dog smelled
Yeah,
a
good.
ham through a suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Was it a
Gets to lick
suitcase
it.
or a backpack? He had a ham.
No, it was a suitcase, like a suit. It was big.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
And I mean, I'm guessing
wonder
because he was
why.
Jewish, it wasn't a ham. It was some kind of other preserved meat, but it looked like a ham. It might have been
Wow.
a beef
Do you think
leg.
it was some
Who
kind of
knows?
test? Maybe they were
want-
testing to see if they could sniff it out.
No.
They don't do that.
Wait,
huh?
I thought TSA was working for free right now. How do they get
Well,
them
I
to
think
work?
that, she was customs, so slightly different than TSA. But
Oh.
interestingly enough, they're not. She's not working. You know, at the same time I think they're still working. Like we were still. Although I saw a video of people having to walk out half a mile outside of the airport to line up because the lines were so long last week.
By the way,
Anyway.
what a shame. I mean, I'm glad dogs can do these things that help us out and
Yeah.
stuff, but dogs are born into this world, and somehow we decide, yeah, that dog needs to work. You know, other dogs
Yeah.
get to sit and lay around all day. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem fair.
I have this conversation with my dogs every day. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Are you sure? All right, fine.
All right, these questions have been compiled by our team of Juan Marconi, and these are what
Team.
listeners wanted to know most about.
Every few
Test
days,
Miles.
Nick will tell me like somebody else is part of the creative team of Test Miles. I'm like,
Yeah.
What? You added someone without asking me? Like,
Well,
when do
here's
I
the
get
deal
paid?
Here's the deal: like nobody wants to stay and work for us because we're so crazy. So we have a revolving door policy.
So wait, what are you saying? Like I'm crazy because I've stayed here?
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't expect it to last this long?
No.
All right, here's a query, Nick, for you. Why do modern headlights feel like I'm staring into the sun?
That's an interesting one. So I could tell you that light is measured in something called lumens. So anybody that did physics in high school knows that that's how light is measured.
Lumen field.
And interestingly enough, when you look at most old cars, they have halogen headlights. So they are lights that use halogen to envelop the filament in the bulb. And halogen headlights are about 700 to 1200 lumens. And then the next stage of headlights was what we call HID or xenon headlights, depending on where you're from. 3,000 lumens, I think, is about where they are. So LED lights, which is what modern cars have in, can be above 4,000 lumens.
No thanks.
Yes. They
I
are
know, right?
much, much brighter. Plus, the color temperature is much, much harsher. So natural light on the inside of a building that has incandescent lights is about 3,600 K, temperature Kelvin.
Wow.
But modern lights are about 6,500 Kelvin. So they are a lot hotter and a lot whiter. And so daylight is about 6,500. So that is the whiteness of the light. Plus, by the way, a lot of vehicles are taller nowadays than they used to be. So light is much higher and it can directly get you in the eyes when you see an oncoming vehicle.
Not a fan of that either.
No,
Right, I have a lot of good words for that.
Right, but also a lot of headlights aren't aligned properly in cars, and that's one of the biggest issues there. Modern optics are sort of also create sharper.
What kind of
cutoffs,
glasses
so-
could you wear to deflect that? I mean, the blue, whatever I use for my screen on my computer, does that work?
The blue blockers?
Yeah.
No, I would just suggest not, because lights are on at night, and at night your vision is impaired anyway. I'd suggest not wearing any kind of lenses.
Well, I'm a
unfortunately.
vampire, so I can see through the darkness.
I mean, if you're the passenger princess, you could just wear a hood when you travel.
That's right. That's right. But I hate that. It's always, and it's like, it used to give me headaches, headlights like that. It's a nightmare.
No, they are bright. I will tell you, they absolutely are bright.
All right. Here's
what we
another
got?
one, Nick. It's actually bad. Is it actually bad to drive with the fuel light on, or is that just my car guilt tripping me?
Interesting question. I mean, yes, you can drive with a fuel light on, but you should fill up with gas. It can actually, by the way, overheat the fuel pump. So most modern cars have an electric fuel pump inside the fuel tank, and that pump is cooled by and lubricated by the gasoline actually around it. So when the tank gets very low, technically, and I think in the more modern the car is, this doesn't really happen, but the pump is fully submerged and it runs hotter if it actually is, if the fuel pump isn't lubricated properly. We all run hotter if we're not lubricated properly. So it does wear out faster. A new fuel pump could cost you $1,200. So they're not
That's too much.
inexpensive. But also the other bad thing about running your car when it has a fuel light on is the debris at the bottom of the tank. That can get in the way. Debris gets in every way. We will be back after more of our own debris with some news headlines. Well, we're back, and I have with the help of Trish, compiled some of the most delicate and yet
I
exhilarating.
just heard your throat do something because you were eating, right? When you were off the air?
Oh, no.
I was having a
hear it.
candy while we were off the air, yes?
And I heard your
Starburst.
I heard your
No,
digestion
no
or something. Do you have a
Oh,
microphone
yeah.
in your stomach?
Yes, I do. I gurgled. and it happens occasionally to the best newscasters.
But when
in the business,
you
which-
eat, I don't eat when I do radio. I can't. I don't know how you
same.
do it.
I have to sometimes have a candy in the breaks to get the sour taste of the show out of my mouth.
I understand. I completely understand.
Time for some Gnome Hole news. Well, that's
Hole
what I like to
news.
call it. It's really automotive news. Tesla is doubling down on the future of automotive driving. The company has unveiled a new robotaxi concept called the Cybercab, a vehicle designed
Tesla.
with no with no steering wheel or pedals, by the way. Tesla say the car will rely entirely on its full self-driving software and could eventually cost under $30,000.
I love Tesla. Wow.
You do. The plan is to use the vehicle in ride-hailing fleets and potentially produce millions of them each year. If regulators approve it, this could make a huge mark towards the shift towards fully driverless transportation.
Why are they
Trish,
trying to eliminate
wow.
drivers? What's the big deal about having a
Yeah.
driver? I don't understand why we have to have driverless cars.
Well, actually,
Same.
here's my piece on driverless cars. Currently there are X amount of drivers in the United States, but the same amount of people that probably have driver's licenses. But imagine if everybody that was blind or disabled or underage or didn't have a driver's license could potentially be in a car. If the car does all the
Okay.
driving,
That's great.
you know
I
what
like
that's
that.
gonna you know what that's gonna mean to traffic though? Imagine 4 times the people using the road all suddenly
yeah.
in one day.
Well, like
gonna be
rideshare
pretty.
does the same thing. It's one person in somebody else's car, and so half the traffic is rideshare drivers.
Yeah,
That's true.
But ultimately, we could end up with 4 times the people using rideshare services. So it's going to start to be extremely busy
Nick,
on
this
our
would
roads in North
completely
America.
destroy this show. But could everybody just take public transportation? For God's sakes!
No,
I mean, you
we
could
love
do-
our
you could do a
cars. It's
show
America.
on-
We have the freedom to have cars.
That's true. I mean, you
That's
could
true.
do a show on trains, though. I bet
I bet you could.
you could do a show on anything.
You can roll that.
I'm a car guy through and through, baby. I'll tell you about it.
You've never
over
taken
to
the
you,
bus in your
Trish.
life, and you're proud of it.
Yeah, well, 16 maybe.
16?
Yeah.
You haven't gone. You've never ridden on the Max train before?
I didn't. The Max train never used to go where I needed to go in Portland. So
Well, why don't you just try it out? And maybe it would take you someplace you
Yeah.
didn't know you needed to be.
Oh,
Just take
could
it for
be,
a
but-
ride, Nick.
Everything is so
just
purposeful
like the
in your
audience.
life. You never
Yeah,
just
I
take
know,
an
I imagine
adventure. Sorry, Trish.
I'm
I'm
like,
back to you.
Yeah,
But
Trish,
what
back
did you
to
eat, Nick? All right, electric vehicles may be going through a transition, but the technology is still accelerating. Automakers across the industry are reworking EV plans to focus on models with longer range, faster charging, and lower prices. Even as some early models are discontinued, companies say next generation of EVs will be more affordable and practical for everyday drivers. The message from the industry is very clear. The electric future is still coming, just with smarter strategy.
Okay,
And
Nick,
Nick,
back to your
over to you.
driverless car thing.
Yeah,
I know,
I was
right?
just thinking about this. What if you die? Is it the car's driving you to work? You drop dead, and it drives you to work anyway. Then what
You
happens?
know I have the answer to this. You know I have the answer to this.
Well, yeah.
Actually, a lot of these cars have sensors now in them to see that the driver is okay. And if, so let's say, you're driving a vehicle and you become unconscious or unresponsive, the car can tell that something has happened to you. But it can
Will it take
read,
you right to the
your-
hospital?
Well, no,
Nope,
it does
he's still
call
gonna work.
emergency. So Acura had this in the early days. They had a system if the driver becomes incapacitated or something happens to them, they use the car's alert system to call emergency services and say this
So
driver
what I
needs
would
help.
do is I sense that I'm having a heart attack. I don't want to pay for an ambulance. It's like, your life savings. So you call an Uber or whatever, a Lyft.
Yeah.
And it comes to your house and it's a driverless one. And you're like,
Yeah.
take me to the hospital. God, stat.
Well, I mean,
And-
you can call any kind of Uber to take you to the hospital. You just have to, fake it that you're not in that much trouble. I mean,
Oh,
if
no.
you're having a baby
I
or
have.
something like that. But
I cut my finger. I had to go to
Really?
the emergency room and I was bleeding. And I didn't want the guy to see that I was bleeding. So I wrapped it in a gauze and then put a mitten on. Real disguise. And it's in the middle of the summer. It's 90 degrees.
Your wife-
Why do you have a mitten on, sir? But I got to the
my
ER
head.
fine. They saved my finger.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, that sounds horrible. But the mitten was unsavable, right?
The mitten had to go
I
in the
know,
garbage
right?
with the ham from the airport.
American car makers are showing surprising resilience headed into 2026. Analysts expect U.S. auto industry to stay close to the 16 million vehicles a year, a level considered healthy, by the way, for the auto industry. And hybrids seem to be one of the most demanding vehicles, along with efficient gasoline vehicles and affordable crossovers. They're helping keep sales strong, even in the high interest rates and high demand for financing, which drives interest rates up as well. For drivers, that means a wide variety of new vehicles that are coming and keeping pricing competitive across the country.
That's awesome.
I like when Trish claps. Do you feel
I'm
like
excited.
when she claps, Nick? Does that pump you up? Does that get you going?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a sympathy clap or it was a pity clap. I'm
Yeah,
not sure what it was. Yeah.
Just that, it's keeping it competitive and options. I mean,
That's right.
we like
Oh.
We
that.
all have options. That's for sure.
Something that should be a drop. Hey, Trish, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Electric vehicle sales finished last year stronger than many expected. Industry data shows both new and used EV sales increased towards the end of 2025 as more models arrived and incentives helped shoppers make the switch. Automakers are launching competitive pricing and improved technology, helping electric vehicles move closer to the mainstream market. For consumers, that means more choices, options.
That's right.
And better deals on EVs than before.
Well done,
Nick?
Trish. I love it. Over to me.
Thank you.
Safety remains a huge priority for automakers, and new technology is helping drivers stay informed. A national survey of vehicle recall and their search systems now has been used by billions of consumers and by drivers checking whether their vehicle needs safety repairs. Industry groups say the tool is making it easier for people to identify recalls quickly and get them fixed, improving road safety across the country. It also remains one of the best technologies around, instead of just looking it up or calling someone to see if your car needs a recall. It's all about protection and options.
I mean, that's great. It just makes it simple to be able to look and go, oh, my vehicle, and they're going to take care of it too. You just take it to the dealership, they fix it, and then you're on your way.
Uncle Bob fixes it for us.
Thank you, Uncle Bob.
Trish, over
All
to
right,
you.
automakers are also adapting quickly to changing fuel prices. As gasoline prices rise, many dealerships are highlighting efficient hybrids and small cars that deliver better mileage. Manufacturers say today's trucks and SUVs are also more fuel efficient than they were a decade ago. The shift shows how quickly the auto industry can respond when drivers start looking for vehicles that go further on every gallon.
Nick, how much is gas right now? It's like $5.
It depends. It's super different wherever you're from. Like, so in the Midwest, it gets much cheaper. It's about $3 something a gallon. But you come out into California, you can find it at $6 a gallon. Depends on where you look for
I
gas.
think it's $5 in
Taxes
Chicago.
taxes are very different in each state as well. So it can vary by several dollars in each state.
What is it in Portland or in Oregon?
It's $4
like
something a gallon.
Yeah, like
That's
$4.30
expensive,
or
right?
something. Yeah, a little
mediumly expensive. I mean, it has been $5 a gallon. I remember when it was 99 cents a gallon. But that we didn't need much gas. We had horse and carts. All right.
Back in my day.
Ask Test Miles coming up. Some more. That's my positioner, fresh for everyone. That's exactly what I like to tell him. Test Miles is fresh for everyone.
I don't know what he's talking about, Trish, do you?
I know.
But the thing, I just want to know if you guys got the group text. I just sent you an update on the new position to creep Trish out, the David Bowie.
Oh yeah, more mask pictures.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah,
what
I
we've
adjusted
got.
the light so it looks like a shroud, and I wanted Trish
Yeah,
to see
it
that.
does. It looks like a coffin with a mask on it.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Marconi, that is not better.
Oh, it's worse.
I sent you a
it kinda
picture of the
reminds me
beagle
of
and
the
the ham,
nun.
by the way.
You
Oh
did?
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a ghost. That looks like a ghost
It
on
is.
your wall with just a face coming out of it.
He's judging my wardrobe and protecting my quilts.
Yeah. And someone should judge your wardrobe, I should tell you. All right, time for more Ask Test Miles, guys.
All right.
Throw the best that you have at me.
Why do car touch screens take longer to load than my phone from 2009? I hate them. Bring back knobs. I want knobs.
That's a super interesting question, and a lot of people don't consider things of why it takes longer. Most automotive infotainment systems run on hardware that was designed probably up to 8 years ago. So, cars take about 5 years to completely go from inception to production. And also automotive chips have to survive extreme heat and extreme cold. They have to be reliable for about 15 years, where phones tend to last about 3 to 6 years probably before they become sort of obsolete. And it also has to be certified for automotive safety. So there's things that a lot of people don't consider. But when you think about your car's computer systems, the infotainment systems, the touchscreen systems, they don't only manage, your music and things like that. They also link to and have to manage things like navigation systems, Bluetooth, camera operating systems, vehicle sensors, audio amplifiers, climate whole climate systems in a lot of cases, and also safety systems as well. So it's not imagine it's more like booting a computer or a laptop versus turning your cell phone off.
You mean like a laptop with a HD drive instead of an SSD drive?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So these things are bulky, and they run a lot of different systems, even things like rear backup cameras. Oftentimes they have to control those, and driver alert systems and climate controls, all those things. They sort of take up more systems that they have to sync with and that type of stuff. So most people don't think about that. The whole system manages so much more than just the music you listen to in your car.
Now, Nick, you did text a picture of this beagle that discovered this ham in this guy's suitcase.
Yeah.
And first of all, he's got like a little jacket on and a badge that says customs. And then I noticed
cutie.
The officer has gloves, latex gloves. I wear latex gloves. I'm wearing them now. You got to wear gloves all the time.
Wow.
No. But I wear them quite a bit. Fingertip dermatitis. The ham is
right
the size of a baby. It's huge.
Yeah, I was thinking a head.
yeah.
It looks like a head.
Oh God! You saw that mask,
You're
and now
scaring
you
me,
think it's a head.
Trish.
Yeah, you see that? It's terrifying.
It's
But
big.
so,
It's just
the fact that they didn't even offer. Hey, sir, would you like to stay and eat the ham? You can. We'll offer you a delayed flight. They didn't. They just threw it away. That's a waste of meat.
that's a lot of meat too.
Can you imagine the pig that had to die? The pig lived its life. It was slaughtered. And the guy who bought it or purchased it wherever he got it from. And then it just goes right in the garbage. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where my
But
life
why
is going,
he
into the
taking
garbage.
a ham to the airport.
You're-
What's he doing
you're
with
not-
ham in his?
And it was in his suitcase too, which is really bizarre. But the interesting thing is, it says quite clearly, no fruit or vegetables and no meats allowed to be imported.
But what if it's
that's
like faux meat? Like, faux ham? It's fam.
Oh, that's an interesting one. But technically, isn't that a meat? Isn't that a vegetable?
I don't know. If it has enough xanthan gum, it can be anything.
The only thing that I think you can bring in is cheeses. If I come from Holland, I often bring cheeses, or Spain or Portugal,
Yeah.
I'll bring cheeses.
He should have
So
just put it in a cheese wheel. Nobody would have known.
What
A ham
if you
wheel?
Get, what if you get a ham, or you get cheese that has bits of ham in?
Oh,
wonder
then
if
you can
that's
bring it
interesting
in. I think you're fine.
Yeah.
They're not going
All
to
right.
look for that.
Interesting.
I'm
Just
sorry.
checking. Just
That's not
checking.
what you called, Nick. Here's
No,
another
no.
question. How long can a car realistically sit without being driven before problems start?
Interestingly enough, it's usually longer than most people think, but the clock really starts ticking on several small problems that slowly stack up. Timeline really depends on the car's age, the battery condition, fuel level, and sort of the environment's in. So, obviously temperature makes a lot of changes to whether
if you
the
live
car
by the
gets
sea,
damaged or not.
make sure you get that rust proofing.
Problems sort of begin with battery drain. That's where most things happen. You don't drive a car, the battery drains, and then that becomes a problem. So keys don't work properly, especially if you have a key fob where it's automatic lock and unlock. Those systems basically draw power constantly. Most cars lose enough charge and start to become a problem after 2 weeks. If the battery isn't strong, tires begin to lose air naturally, so your tires will start to go down. And most cars still start fine after a couple of weeks, but now you'll start to see real mechanical annoyances, things apart from the battery or the weak battery. You'll see flat spots in the tires, brake rotors can develop rust. Fuel begins to degrade. Fuel after a year isn't very good.
It goes bad?
It goes bad. So fuel.
What about all that fuel that's in a barrel that's underneath the gas station?
Well, that is refreshed quite regularly. They empty it and refill it, and empty it and refill it.
Not in those country gas stations where there's like one customer per week.
Well, they have smaller tanks. But fuel actually only lasts 3 months before it goes bad or starts to go bad. Anyway,
wow.
Yeah, and when the battery's permanently dead, like me above my shoulders, then that can be a problem for you.
So make sure your gas is fresh, is what we're trying to tell you.
I like fresh gas, and the seals are all dry. The fluids are all topped up and fresh. Basically, fresher is better in cars. The sweet spot, I would say, you should drive your car every 2 to 3 weeks. Just to keep it on the up and up.
That's
about
a nightmare.
15 to
Could you
20
imagine,
minutes.
like if you're one of those people that has like one of those big garages with all those antique cars?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's why they have guys that look after them. They
That's
have
a
people that come in
nightmare.
to look after them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's somebody's job right there, is to drive the cars.
Yeah, we're trying to get driverless cars. I mean, is that where all the drivers go to these jobs? They're driving rich guys' cars around?
That's a good point. That's an absolutely good point.
Is there actually a reason people back into parking spaces, or are they just showing off? I hate when people do that. Why do people do that?
It's interesting, isn't it? So the reasons that a lot of people back into parking spaces, some drivers are definitely showing off.
It's always dudes
they can
too.
do it.
It's always dudes who think they're in a hurry.
They show off because they want everyone to know that they can back in. But practice, you have to practice that. I mean, a lot of people backing into a parking space is not that easy.
I know.
So
I used to do it at the old KUFO studio just for fun, just to mess with people.
Yeah.
I probably ruined a couple of cars.
I think one of the reasons
kidding,
that
I never did that.
I like to back into parking spaces is because I can see where I'm going when I drive out, and it's usually a lot easier than having to sort of try and work out whether something's coming in the traffic, or there's a shopping cart behind you if you've gone shopping or something like that.
That's
Don't you have a rear view camera for that?
Well, yeah, you do, but there's actually studies out there that say that fleet vehicles, like for large company fleets, actually have less damage. They have a bigger chance of being damaged when people drive into parking spaces forward and then back out, because a lot of accidents actually happen when people back out of
or is it just the design of parking lots that are horrible? Like, couldn't we do better?
Could be. But also, like, leaving a parking space by driving forward is actually faster. So somebody knows that when I used to work for emergency services in Portland, we used to back our emergency vehicles into their parking spaces.
But you're going to save lives. This is just like a guy leaving to go home and take off his pants.
It reinforces my point that it's faster to get out if your nose is pointing out rather than your back end. So it's make a clean getaway. There you go.
Yeah,
if you want to make a clean getaway,
you're in a hurry
you back
to go
in.
sit in traffic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, it depends what time you leave work, but if you want to make a clean getaway, sometimes better.
A clean getaway.
And we're gonna make a clean getaway from the show 24/7 at testmiles.com. Of course, we'll be back every single week. Bye bye.
Follow Test Miles on all social media platforms wherever you're connected.
At Test Miles.
Give it up for Adobe, everybody.